Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, and welcome to this special video in which we'll talk about a potential new narrative, which we could be very quick to spot, which is an opportunity in itself. All right. So we'll talk about the China narrative. Now, some of you might still remember the China narrative from last year, for example, when we got that, or no, that was actually earlier this year, I believe. But that was the Hong Kong ETF, right? So what you saw then, and you can see this historically very well, is a lot of bullish momentum going into Conflux. We're looking at Conflux right now. That is the main coin we'll focus on regarding this narrative. And this is also where I'll do some sort of a more in-depth analysis on possibilities in terms of trades. But I'll show you some other potential Chinese narrative coins later down the line as well. But I think there's potential here. I think you need to know about this at the very least. And the main reason for that we'll talk about right now. All right, so this is a bit of a mix between news, narratives, and trading opportunities. Hopefully you find it valuable. I think it is valuable. I do think you need to watch this video, otherwise I wouldn't make it, but that's up to you. So what we have seen in the last 2 weeks is that the Central Bank of China has pivoted. All right, so what they're doing is they're decreasing the interest rates and they're increasing liquidity measures, which in general is designed as some sort of a stimulus for the Chinese economy. And therefore bullish, right? Decreasing the interest rates is bullish because that creates an incentive to spend your money and to do bigger finance projects. And then they also increase the liquidity with central banks, allowing them to have less cash on balance, freeing up more liquidity, cash, to invest in other businesses, invest in projects, etc. So that's bullish for the economy, all right? They have to boost the economy a little bit because the economy was stalling. So we'll have to see long-term whether that actually works, but this is not a video talking about the economy of China, of course. And what we have seen so far is home sales rise in China. So that's a good outcome, at least on the short term. And then what's perhaps even more important is that Chinese stocks have absolutely rocketed up. All right, they're up about 40% right now, or at least this is the China A50. It's up 40%. So there's in general a lot of bullish momentum regarding Chinese assets. And that is what's important, all right, because this happened the 24th of September. So that's about 2 weeks ago. And then you would say, all right, well, last week we were also bullish. Why hasn't Conflux performed much better? Although Conflux has performed relatively well and it's still holding the prices it was at last week, even though we had a very bearish week. So that means something, right? But what was the case last week is that last week was actually the trading in China was closed because you had China National Day, and I think it was called the Golden Week. Between October the 1st and October the 7th tomorrow. So Tuesday the markets will open again in China. In general, there's a ton of liquidity going into China, and you would be mistaken if you think that Chinese people don't trade crypto. They do, and it does have an influence. So that's why I think it's interesting to look at coins that have some sort of a tie to China. So this is a list of coins. I'll sort them by the best performance in the last 30 days. You have Nervous Network is related to China, but that's also a bit of a pump coin. MDT, Huobi, Ontology, Alchemy Pay, I think is a crypto you also need to keep your eyes on. Conflux, NKN, VeChain, Combo. Ton of projects you can see right here on the screen, so make sure to pause the screen if you want to write them down. But we'll focus on Conflux, because what you see with Conflux is that historically this has been one of the coins that has rallied the most when there's bullish momentum coming from China. And what you can see technically here is that we are trying to break out above this level right here around 17.5 cents. Conflux was in a balance, in a consolidation right here between 18 and 17 cents as a resistance. And then the main support level right here around 12 and 12.5 cents. And we are trying to break out. So given the fundamentals, I think fundamentally we actually have a very good chance to break out here. Now we just have to get some sort of technical confirmation as well. And technically the confirmation for Conflux, and I think a lot of these Chinese cryptos actually have similar setups, would be some sort of acceptance above 18 and 17 cents. that is by far the strongest resistance level. You have a lot of volume traded at that level as well. If we can actually break above that level, which is what we have already done, and stay on top of that level, then I think we can actually rally much higher, where the first price target would probably be 22.5 cents, but we can go up to 27.5 cents as well if the narrative actually comes off the ground. So definitely something I think you need to watch. For now, like I said, technically we still need confirmation, but fundamentally you should already have your eyes on this narrative and the coins from the narrative already. So that's what I think you need to know. Let me know down in the comments if this was valuable to you, and to subscribe if you want more information and trade setups like this. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments as well, or better yet, join the free Discord or Telegram in which you can ask me as well. For now, that's what you need to know. So thank you for watching. Take care and bye.